Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to talk about the real cost of 3D printing and what you need to know about it. My name is Ronald, welcome to Acceptably Epic. Hey everybody, my name is Ronald and today we're going to talk about the real cost of 3D printing. And no, I don't mean safety, even though, yes, please be safe when you 3D print. If you have a resin printer, you absolutely need to take care of yourself, your environment. Don't put yourself into a place where you're like unsafe. Make sure that you have a respirator. Get one of the big ones like you have there. And make sure that you are treating it safe. You're dealing with a toxic goo. You don't want it to get on your skin. Get the gloves, get the mask, do all that stuff. Make sure you are taking care of your body. It is important. When I talk about the cost of 3D printing, I mean the actual money cost. Now, let's be real. There is a time cost that comes with 3D printing also. It takes time. Like any hobby, it's not just going to be something that like magically pops up right there in front of you. It's going to take some time, but really I'm just going to be talking about the cost. How much money does it cost to 3D print? And hear me, again, this matters. Your mileage may vary. I'm going to show you what I have spent on 3D printing. That doesn't mean that has to be what you spend. You don't have to copy my spending habits. I had someone comment on a video down below saying like, hey, you need to take into account all the costs of 3D printing. And I thought it was a really neat idea, and so that's why we're going to do a video about this today. So here we go. Here's the cost of my 3D printing. And if you're going to do a 3D printer, first thing that you need is a 3D printer. Now the reason I got into this idea and the reason I wanted to get a 3D printer was because Games Workshop kept hiring their prices. I know hiring is not the right word. Raising their prices, the prices kept getting more and more expensive. And so I decided that I wanted to look more into 3D printing because it seemed like everything at GW was just getting more and more expensive and I didn't want to pay for it. So I dropped $325 for a Saturn III Elegoo resin printer. I bought it off Amazon. They shipped it to me. It was great. They were running a deal, and I decided that this was going to be my Christmas present to myself. So I bought a 3D printer. It takes time to get the thing set up, and there was a lot of time involved in going on YouTube and watching lots of videos on different people and how they could, set up a resin printer. And I did a whole bunch of research and freaked my children out too. Because I told them, hey, this is a resin printer. We want to be really careful with it. Don't breathe in the toxic fumes. Like, they don't like to go in the garage anymore because the resin printer lives there. I have the vent, it's like venting, it's going through and things like that. But they took my warning to heart and they are a little freaked out by the resin printer. They have safety in mind. Wear the mask. It's a thing. So the resin printer itself cost me $325. There are cheaper printers out there. I did some research. I found the one that was going to work best for me and my needs, which was printing a ridiculous amount of wargaming miniatures. And so that's what I bought. The second thing that I'm going to need was some resin. And what I looked at was just resin that was going to work. I wasn't trying to find like the most expensive resin. You can find more expensive resin than what I've bought here. I have really gone in with this Sunlu. It's about 2 pounds worth of resin, 2,000 milliliters or what have you. And it gets the job done. It's about $40 a bottle. And I've told myself, I've limited myself to 1 bottle a month so that I can, be financially and fiscally responsible. More on that in a minute. But the idea here is that I buy 1 bottle of resin a month, and so whatever I can print with that is what I print for the month. My next cost, the next thing that I have is a Patreon subscription. So I have subscribed to One Page Rules. I've talked about it before on the channel here. I think One Page Rules is an excellent company. And maybe it's something that you'd be interested in checking out as well. They have free rules and a free starter set for you to play. You can check out their website at onepagerules.com. And if you're interested, you can also subscribe to their Patreon for $10 a month, which is something that I have done. And so now I pay $10 a month. And since December, now it's May 2024, I've given One Page Rules $50 of my actual money. Now, looking through that, I have received so many models. Again, just so you know, this is what I got for this month right here. All of these models, basically an entire undead army and an entire Eldari High Elf fleet army. All of it here now for $10. Now, this is important. I have bought the files with my $10, okay? So that's why I have to buy the resin printer and the resin, and that is included into my cost. Those are just files. I have to put in the time and the materials to print the thing. And that takes some time and it takes some materials. But in order to print the entirety of this month's release cost me around $6 to $7 in materials. $6 to $7 to print all of that in materials. That's a big deal, okay? So I've done that thing. But I haven't just subscribed to $10 a month Patreon with One Page Rules. I have also bought some supplemental things off of myminifactory.com. Now, a lot of that has been One Page Rules stuff. Let me show you some of the things that I've bought. One Page Rules is doing this really great thing right now called Worlds Beyond with Titan Forge miniatures and Archvillain miniatures, and so I bought an ogre army because I thought this looked really epic with all of these piratey looking ogres that we have here, and I love ogre armies, so I decided that all of this, okay, hold on, walking hammerhead sharks, come on. Now I bought this army for $30 so that I could print all of this as many times as I want for $30. Okay, so that's a thing that I've done. Now you'll see here, these are the things that have come with One Page Rules subscription, right? This is what I've gotten. High Elf Fleet Noble Scorchers, Stingers, Scorchers, Vampiric Champion on Steed, Vampiric Werewolf Champion, Vampiric Skeleton Knights, Werewolves, Stitch Butchers, Vampiric Lord on Stitched Hordes, Robot Legions Warriors, all of this, Sisters, all of this is stuff that I bought. So if you're into Adeptus Sororitas and you like playing the Sisters, I bought a Sisters release bundle. So One Page Rules has been releasing armies once a month over the last several months, over the last few years. And so I went back and bought a previous release that I had missed. So I bought this Sisters release here with the battle tanks, some walkers, some heavy support, and then these canonesses, these leaders right here as well. Again, I bought all this and I went through and did the math. So I did the math here for you so that we can know this. All told, I have spent on my mini factory a total of $355. Okay, so understand then that for the cost of 2 effectively combat patrols, I have bought a ridiculous amount of miniatures off of my mini factory. Hold on a second. Can we do balloons again? Yes, balloons. It's exciting because that's what I bought. So all of this stuff here I have bought from my mini factory. A War Demons release, some Necron or Robot Legions. This Plague Soul Epic Demon came just for being around. Elf Fleets, that was a Patreon as well. Scrolling. Actually, the thing that I bought at very first, I want to show you, that I really got into one-page rules because of, not just the dwarves, although they do have the space dwarves. I got in because of their Human Empire Army bundle. I saw these and I was over the moon. As an Empire player, I thought all of these models were epic. And so that's really what got me into this. And I bought this when they were running a 70% off sale. Now, One Page Rules runs a 70% off sale every now and then. I basically haven't bought anything at full price since I've been in and buying things on my mini factory from One Page Rules. I've been waiting for either a 70% off sale, or because I'm a Patreon, that $10 a month gets me half off of everything in the store. So I haven't paid full price for anything that they offer, but I have absolutely been super excited for this team tank up here that they've got, and for this griffin down here, and all these knights and wizards and things like that. A ton of stuff that has come with everything that I bought, plus all of their routine monthly releases, like this epic dwarf walker. So you know their Leagues of Votann is a Warhammer thing now, right? They brought back space dwarves. God bless you, dog. They brought back space dwarves. Well, what One Page Rules has done has gone beyond the things that Games Workshop has made and made extra stuff, like this really epic dwarf walker. I've painted this thing up. It looks cool. I am a big fan of this thing. I've got mine with the sword here, and it's just really awesome. Okay, so again, all told, I've spent about $355 of my money on my mini factory and 3D printing. Okay, so we're probably doing some math here, and I'm with you. Unfortunately, that's not all I have done. Okay, I've also been on Colts 3D. Now, Colts 3D is another place where you can buy miniatures or find them for free. I went and I bought some minis because I am a big fan of Imperial Guard. And so I went on Colt 3D and I bought these Imperial Guard looking guys. And I think they look really cool. So they're basically Cadians, and I'm a big fan. And I bought them for $15, as well as some other things. I also bought these walkers over here these sentinels that I just thought were really cool, and it's both the armored variety and the scout variety here with all of the weapons that come alongside it as well. And then I also went and bought some battle tanks. These battle tanks are $10 a piece for these files, and you can see they come here with all of these types of cannons, all of this type of stuff that are pre-supported. They've printed great. I've really enjoyed them. I think they look really cool, really different than the typical normal Leman Russ, and I am a big fan. So with all of that I've spent on Colts 3D, I've spent a grand total of $76 on Colts 3D. I'm not done yet. I've also bought more things. I also went on Kickstarter and I supported this Ultimate Orc Death Squad. This Ultimate Orc Death Squad. And let me tell you, it comes with a ton. It comes with 100 minis. And let me show you what all they have with it. This is all of these miniatures right here. This is all from Malicious Minis. And it is huge, the amount of stuff. So we have Orc Breacher Squads, Flamer Squads, Sniper Squads, Rocket Squads, Orc Slashers, Orc Comms, Orc Shooters, Bomb Monsters, Orc Boss and Goblin, Boss Goblin, these objective markers, dice and tokens that you can print, scrap bits of WoW, terrain that they just released, and then also one- and two-handed orc warboys, and then a combat goblin unit, a whole bunch of different heads. And then these were all the pledges that got released. Orc Shaman and Goblin, Pain Boy and Goblin, Mechanic and Goblin, Sniper Boss and Rocket, Orc Boss and Orc Herder, Orc Mega Boss, these bikers, and all these dragstas and monster trucks, and the Goblin tanks that they have now, as well as helicopter kits, and we unlocked the Orc War Boss on a bike. Hundreds of minis from My Malicious Minis for $51 that I pledged for $51. So that is what I have spent so far on my 3D printing hobby. Okay, so all of this stuff, and if you are way better at math than me, you will find out that I have spent $1,007. Hey babe, yeah, I know we're getting married next month. Yeah, I know we're trying to save money. Yeah, just don't look at the bank account for... So actually it's a little bit more than that, because I have also bought some FDM filament. My kids have a 3D printer. I borrow it to print my bases on there because it's way cheaper. So let's say $1,057 or $212 a month for the last 5 months. That seems like a lot of money. It seems like a whole lot of money. So here's what I went and did. I went to the Warhammer store and I actually added in everything that I could have bought from Warhammer, from Games Workshop, if I had decided to buy it from the website instead of buying it from the store. So that means all of the Eldar stuff, the Eldar stuff that's just been released, all of that went into the cart. All of the things that they've been releasing so far, not everything they've released yet, but then all of the Vampiric Undead releases that I've been getting for $10 a month from One Page Rules, all of the Ratmen army that I went and bought on my own, all of the Empire stuff that was available to buy, all of the Cities of Sigmar things, all of the Sephiron stuff that I went and bought at a special deal that One Page Rules was having with their Lizardmen army. I added all of that in to my cart that they could buy. All of the ogre stuff, like the things that I would think would translate over best, all of the ogre stuff that I bought, all of the demon stuff that was available to me, all of the Sisters of Battle, the Sisters Adeptus Sororitas stuff, all of the Leagues of Votann, aka Dwarf Guilds or Space Dwarves, whatever you want to call them, all of the Orc stuff that was possible for me to have bought that I'm going to now be 3D printing, all of the Necron stuff, all of the Imperial Guard or whatever they call it now, all of it. I went and added all of it together so that I could see how much it would cost me to buy all of these things from Games Workshop. $4,373. $4,373. And wait, I'm not done, because I did not get a chance to add in all of the things that weren't available to purchase because they're out of stock right now. It was another $763 worth of stuff, making the total $5,136. No, I saved $4,000. Yeah, because I didn't spend $4,000. Well, no, I didn't spend I could have spent $4,000. So it saved $4,000. Look, I'm gonna marry you. You know girl math. Here's the thing though. One little problem that might happen. With a company of one-page rules where they have free rules that you can download and play whenever you want to, Games Workshop has decided you have to pay for all those rules. So included in that $5,136 is not all of the money you would have to buy these rules and supplements and guides to, and it basically comes down to another additional $500 that you would add to this in order to get up to all of the things that I have bought and spent my money and time on over the last 5 months. Now again, here's the deal. I don't expect you to spend that kind of money. Honestly, now that I'm looking at my budget, I should probably slow down. Like $200 a month is a little ridiculous, let's be real. And so me spending all of this on a hobby that I'm enjoying a lot, looking at it now, I'm thinking, okay, I've maybe have scratched the itch all that I need to. Was there a cost to 3D printing? Sure. But did I need to spend all that in order to 3D print? No, absolutely not. And what's really crazy is when I added in all that stuff for Games Workshop, I just added it in one time. Right? So just one Cadian shock troops. I have the 3D print files for those Cadians. I bought them. I own them. They're mine now. So that means I can print them however many times I want. So if I'm going to print them more than once, that's up to me. And so that ends up being something that I save money on. So that's my real cost of 3D printing. That's how much I've been enjoying this hobby so far and how much I've really been digging into this idea of 3D printing. You don't have to spend that much money, but holy cow, am I having a lot of fun. So tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know that I've spent way too much money, because I agree with you at this point. I've just now looked at the budget and it's far too much. I need to really cut back in the next few months. But cool story is, I have that stuff now. What do you think? Is Games Workshop worth that much money to you every single month? Would you pay that much in order to get into 3D printing? Would you be somewhere in between? Let me know down in the comments. And if you like wargaming and are enjoying this channel, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.